Hello there, Pisces. You are my last reading of the day. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa, and I don't do zodiac readings. Like, I just don't. I used to, but yeah, it's super draining, and I love that there are so many people out there who can do a weekly 12 videos, one for each zodiac sign every week. But yeah, so I'll go watch them, and you can go watch them too. We're just going to talk about Mercury retrograde this time for each zodiac sign, but normally I do random things that pop in my head, celebrity readings, whatever. So if you're feeling the vibe and you want to subscribe, head over to the channel first and see if you're really sure about that. So yes. Oh, we had the Four of Wands pop out there. I almost said pump out there. That kind of not sounding great. All right, so let's talk about Mercury retrograde. We're going to be reading about what may be surfacing in retrograde for you. So for me, I have a different take on Mercury retrograde. It's more about an opportunity to revisit something that needs to be worked on, healed, worked through, dealt with, a lesson that needs to be learned. It's going to just like keep bringing that back up, possibly in different forms. So if it's a person, it may not bring the same person back, but it may bring somebody into your life that, God, they remind me of that person, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be an ex, but it could be somebody new coming into your life that is very much similar to that person. So let's see what you're revisiting for this Mercury retrograde cycle. So we have the Four of Wands here, which the keyword on the deck is celebration. I see it more as a stability. This deck does not have people in this card, which normally there's like a couple under there where it does actually look like a celebration or a ceremony of some sort. I'm gonna plop that back in here and just see if it comes back out and it actually has any meaning. All right, so what does Pisces need to know for this Mercury retrograde? Please don't fall on the floor. I don't want to have to get it. Queen of Cups. Mercury retrograde for Pisces. Right. Prince of Wands, he's been popping out a lot. And then the Six of Discs. Discs. I don't like that word. Coins then. Say coins if you don't want to have pentacles. But whatever. I love this deck, so I'm not going to complain. But so we have the Queen of Cups, the Prince of Wands, and the Six of Coins. I feel like... I feel like you're kind of feeling yourself right now. The Queen of Cups, the keyword on the card, this deck has keywords that sometimes I agree with and sometimes I don't. But it says intuition. Not necessarily the vibe I get, but okay. Prince of Wands, instigation. I feel like that's more of a passionate move in the right direction and moving in a direction of your passion. And then the Six of Discs, generosity, I subscribe to that meaning there. But I kind of feel like if we put them together and we say, what is Pisces dealing with for the retrograde? What is resurfacing? I kind of feel like it may be a... we have two court cards here. So I feel like... one is very feminine, one is very masculine. So I feel like it could be a couple. It could be, I don't think it's like parents. I feel like, I kind of feel like the Queen of Cups is you feeling yourself, being in tune with your intuition, being in tune with your body, being in tune, just being in tune in general. But possibly like a, maybe in immature kind of fiery energy, and like I'm trying to compare it to something. Then we have the Eight of Discs pop out. Eight of Coins just popped out. We're gonna set that aside. Dedication, which, like the imagery on this is a little bit different for me than what I would normally see as the Eight of Pentacles or the Eight of Coins. Because he's not doing anything. He's just staring at the 8 discs. He's not like, that's not really action, or I feel like dedication. It's more of an observation. So let's clarify. Oh, did I make a blanket statement yet? Yeah, I feel like you're feeling yourself. Your Pisces is ready to take action in service of others. Okay. How that fits in with retrograde, let's see. Why is this Queen of Cups here? There's the Four of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Okay. I mean, yeah, like, okay, so the Four of Swords, it says rest. That's not what I feel. I feel like it's you centering yourself and embodying a sense of, not like, the word self-righteousness kind of popped in, but that's not really what I'm feeling. I feel like this is kind of too bright now. Not like, oh, words. Self-appreciation, self-respect. Thank you. Self-respect, self-appreciation, being ready to take action. Okay, that's what this Queen of Cups is all about. So I feel like I feel like we're still waiting for the bomb to drop here on the whole retrograde. What's that really about? Did that just glitch? I'm sorry. Okay. Why is the Prince of Wands here? Yeah, we're going to take that one. We have the Four of Discs. Another four. And the Magician. Yeah, the Magician. And yeah, I really feel like you're feeling, you're centering yourself and preparing yourself to take some kind of action. I don't see you necessarily taking the action yet. I feel like it's more of preparation and getting your mindset in the right place for that. Why is the Six of Discs here? All right, we have the Five of Wands and the Judgment card. That Judgment card will not stay in the deck. That Judgment card has come out for a lot of other readings. I feel like it's a very good, like, the image kind of really encompasses the whole Mercury retrograde. It's a reflection. And beneath that calm surface, the little legs are paddling. I know it's not a duck, and that the analogy is a duck, but that's a swan, but I get it. It's the same difference, okay? The five of Wands, competition and judgment. I feel like that's that bomb to drop, is the competition. It's like a battle. I'm seeing Thanos's the gauntlet, the glove thing from Thanos's gauntlet. I think it's called a gauntlet. I don't know. I'm kind of seeing that, where like it's taking, you know, all of the stones that represent certain powers and putting them together in a way that helps you move forward. What I'm seeing as the like issue for the retrograde is more about something coming in to disrupt your flow. Because I'm really getting the sense that you're in a flow right now. You're in a flow state. You're filling yourself. You're centering and grounding. You're feeling stable, and you're starting to access and recognize your own power. With the Magician card, with the Seven of Wands, with the Queen of Cups, I feel like that's you feeling your own empowerment. What did I say? Self-acceptance, whatever I said before. That stuff is starting, that stuff, when you start exuding that kind of confidence, something may come out of the woodwork to trip you up, to create a blockage. Not necessarily to make you fail, but to not amp you up either, but to give you something to work towards. Because once you get in that flow, you're in that flow, things start to feel a lot easier. Even if they're not, they start to feel a lot easier. And so every now and then the universe will throw something in and say, you know, you really want this? You're going to have to find your way around this quick little obstacle. We just want to make sure that you want it bad enough. And so you just have to bust through that obstacle. What I feel like that is is like you're in competition with yourself at this point. You're in such a good flow, and you're feeling, stable. You have, it looks like finances are pretty okay right now, enough to where you feel like you can be generous with another person, possibly a relationship, like I said in the very beginning. You're in that flow, but I feel like you get to a point where you start tripping yourself up. So I feel like this Mercury retrograde is an opportunity for you to reflect on what's going on beneath the surface, because you're in that flow. You're on those calm, the calm surface of the water here. Um, but are you looking deep enough to see what's going on behind the scenes? So you're feeling yourself, you're in that zone. But what were to happen if somebody, threw a pebble in, tossed, or what is it? Stone skipping. Somebody tried to skip a stone on the surface. What would it reveal? And I feel like that's the question that you need to ask yourself to make sure that you can keep yourself in this flow state. Because yes, it's nice to feel and be in that flow and to be in your zone. But you have to check in with yourself every now and then, because you start skimming the surface, it's going to kind of blur together, and you're going to miss some things. And I feel like what you're missing is kind of what's going on, like beneath the water, what's going on behind the scenes. You need to stop and check in with yourself. And I feel like you're in a good state, you're in a flow. And if you don't stop and check in with yourself, you're going to get that competition in there. You're going to get that, the word competition that they put on here, but more like conflict, I feel like is a more accurate representation of the Five of Wands. But that's going to be like dropped in your lap, and you're not going to know what to do about it, because you haven't checked. I just bit my tongue. You haven't checked in with yourself to see what's going on behind the scenes. So you need to, yes, stay in that flow state, but you need to take breaks. It needs to ebb and flow. It needs to, the tide needs to rise and fall. In order to stay with that flow, you do have to, you reach those peaks, but you also need to check in at the lows and say, okay, what's working right now? What's not working that I can get rid of? And then you do that, and then you move on, and you still ebb and flow, and you're in that flow. So what I feel like may come up is some type of conflict that is like, okay, you need to check in with yourself and see what the hell's going on here. But other than that, I feel like you're doing really well. And being a water sign, I'm not surprised by all of the water on these cards. We have the Queen of Cups, which would definitely be representing you. But there's water in this card, okay? There's water in the Magician. There's water in the Judgment card. There's a lot of flowiness going on here. And honestly, I feel like this Four of Swords has the 4 elements on it. We have, earth, air, fire, water. I do feel like we have a lot of water and flowy thing here. So check in, and I want to say specifically with your emotions, because of the amount of water that we have in these cards. I would encourage you to check in with your emotional state, because you could get in that zone and kind of start ignoring things, ignoring regular scheduled maintenance. You need, regular maintenance. You need to schedule that. And I feel like that's kind of what the retrograde is going to reveal to you. There's going to be some type of conflict that comes up that you're like, oh, I got to check in with myself. And how do I feel about this? And, don't just super go. You want to go with the flow, but don't go with the flow so much that you start ignoring your own care and your own maintenance. Okay. That is what I think the Mercury retrograde is going to be showing you. You've got a few weeks. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. And like I said before, if you want to subscribe and you're feeling the vibe, hit the channel first, see the other videos, and then decide. Because yeah, it's some random shit, and witchy unboxing for witchy subscription boxes, and there's weird stuff on there, the other stuff that's beside this, and I don't do zodiac readings, so keep that in mind before you subscribe. I will see you in the next video, hopefully, and thank you so much, and have a blessed day.